Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Awesome. We're doing a holiday ornament making party tonight.
Yay!
And it's super exciting. We've never done anything quite like this with so many companies. So you'll have to bear with us as we're trying to figure out the nuts and bolts of making it work. But we have 2 more companies joining us for a full slate of 9 companies that will be live tonight with some a variety of ornament making ideas using beads in many wonderful different ways. And I think what we decided is we're going to kind of kick it off here with a little conversation while we're waiting for some more of our bead buddies. And then I will go through each person individually, starting with probably Sam and then maybe Kay. So they're ready to go in just a minute. But hey, guys, what are you thinking about making tonight? Who wants to talk?
Ornaments? Are we doing ornaments?
Yeah, ornaments. Sam, what ornament are you making tonight?
I thought you were going to throw some icebreaker question at us to start, because obviously we're beading today, but we need a good icebreaker. I feel like to
okay, what's your best icebreaker question?
Okay, my favorite one that my aunt brought to Thanksgiving this year was, this is not holiday related, so we could edit. Someone should put a better one, but it was pretty good. What's your favorite boat memory?
What's your favorite what?
What's your favorite memory from a boat? And somehow everyone has one, because no one asks you about a boat you've been on. So here you are. But we could do a holiday one version as well.
But what if I have a holiday boat memory?
That you should start.
I love that.
Bonus points.
Does anybody here have a holiday boat memory?
I do too.
Sounds lovely.
They have to go first.
Okay, Rebecca, you're on it.
Okay, so a couple years ago, we flew to the San Francisco Bay Area to visit Richard's grandparents. And as a surprise, Richard got us an Airbnb sailboat in Oakland. And we didn't go anywhere, but that's where we slept. We stayed on the sailboat because I have this longtime fantasy of wanting to sail around the world. So we pretended that we lived on a sailboat for a couple days.
Oh my God. I love that.
That's cool.
Wow. What was it like to sleep on a boat? I've never even been on a cruise ship.
It never stopped moving, even though it was parked in a protected harbor.
Mm-hmm.
So I never stopped eating crackers. It was also extremely cold because it's not heated. So it was like camping, but on the boat, and the berth was like a triangle at the pointy end of the boat. See, I know all the boat words. The pointy end.
So was this a good surprise or a bad surprise at the end of the stay?
It was awesome. It was so good. I loved it so much. I knew before doing this that I was extremely seasick, so that wasn't a surprise. I'm just like, I'll get over it, and someday I'll be a sailor.
Well, I don't have a lot of boat experiences, but I live in the Bay Area, so we take the ferry into the city pretty frequently, and I love that because when you take a ferry from where I live, which is on the Carquinez Strait, you get to go by Alcatraz Island. You get to see the beautiful Golden Gate Bridge. You get to see the Bay Bridge, and then it lands either at Pier 39, which is lovely and beautiful at Christmas time, or it sometimes goes to the the ferry building,
yeah,
which is also gorgeous at Christmas time. So if you're in this area and you ever get a chance to take that ferry, it's super inexpensive for the beautiful view that you get the entire way there and the entire way back. It's pretty amazing.
I'm gonna try that one.
It's pretty. You can take it from Oakland.
Oh yeah,
I guess you don't go by the Golden Gate Bridge in Alcatraz and stuff because it comes under the Bay Bridge.
That's true, but I can settle for that.
You got to come from up north. You got to come from up north with the fancy cruise.
Wait, I want to hear Joyce's holiday boat memory. See, look at all these memories that are being shared.
It's not a holiday. It was Mother's Day, and me and my kids went to go see the U.S. Hornet. So it's old ship so that's my boat. It's a holiday, and we got our picture taken. Looking at my boys were like 4 and 6, I think, at that time, and so they got to be up in the thing. We got our picture taken to be in the newspaper, but we have never been in the newspaper. But they took it. It's very simple, but it happened to be on a holiday.
That's awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We're excited to be here tonight. We've got an amazing slate of people hanging out with us. We're still waiting for one more, who is Cassandra, and I'm sure she'll be here in just a little bit. But I am going to go ahead and kick things off. I think I said Sam first. Is that right, Sam? Yeah.
I guess so. Oh, I'm very large now. Hi, everyone.
Do you want to turn your camera down first?
Yeah.
Are you good?
I'll flip my camera. But first I'll say hello. I'm Sam of Sam's Bead Shop. It's wonderful to be here. Finally lit my Christmas tree here and started putting up decorations. I found these old snowmen that are probably 30 years old that I love dearly.
Do you celebrate Christmas?
Now I do.
You do now, like starting this year, or?
I mean, I was raised Jewish. I'm still Jewish, but like I love the spirit of Christmas. So this is why I have a tree. And
very
all the
nice.
ornaments were sent by customers. So we have a pineapple. We have a music note because my customers know that I am a singer. I have this fused glass. Can you see this penguin? That the customer made.
That's awesome.
Angela Cassio made this one, and it's so cute.
It's cute.
And then lastly, we have an avocado.
The pineapple is because you use pineapples like on your packaging, right?
Yeah, the first packaging we ever did was covered in pineapples, and it's since like evolved, but like that was the original fruit of the shop.
So cute. Well, okay, what are you making this year?
So I need as you can see, the tree does not have enough on it yet. So I'm making as many ornaments as possible. So let me show you what I've got going. I had some time on a plane ride a couple days ago, and I made 5 more. The guy had no idea what I was doing next to me, and so I give you a little tour of what I made on the flight, and then what I'm working on today. So I made an extra large snowflake frame, so it's using a snowflake frame to make a snowflake ornament, and then I just kept making those. So I made a kind of by color. This one features some of these lovely trees we had custom made for the shop with that AB coating on them. Those ones are featured in our Christmas box that we just put out, which I think we have like 10 left of. I'm on like a mission to get our last 10 shipped before Christmas, because I don't know what I'm gonna do with 10 boxes come January, other than make more ornaments.
How much are the boxes?
It's $35, and it's like filled with all sorts of different custom like the trees.
Cute.
And I've got some leaves. These are a hex seed bead mix that we made. So those are a 6-sided Toho hex.
Ooh.
And then
show me those angels. Are those in the box?
Yes, you get 3 angels. Those are what I'm going to use today. Let's see. 3 different check glass angels.
Those are so special.
They're very like.
I don't
common
feel like
to
I've
me.
seen that shape very often.
Yeah, I think it must be like an older one that that's resurfaced.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have your sparkle. It's like that time of year. You got to have your sparkle.
Yeah, so those would look good in the ornament I'm making. They're really pretty.
I should have sent you some. So we did a gold coat on 3 different colors here: red, emerald, and a crystal clear. And so you just get a whole. This isn't even everything, but I put out some of my favorites from the box. If you'd like to snag one of those on our website, samsbeadshop.com. But today we are making ornaments. So I hope this provides some inspiration using the ornament frames that we have in the shop. You get a mix pack. It's like 14 different 14 ornament frames in a mix of sizes. So here's one I did, and I'm trying to figure out how to make them like a little bit more extra. So this one, I just added some chain, the 3 different trees, and like my dream is like making this like a cha-cha bracelet style of just like adding all the dangles to the chain is where I'm thinking this one should go.
If
But I
there's
also
ever
like
a time of year to be extra, it's this time of year.
I agree. And then here's the one I'm working on today. So I feel like I gave myself a head start because I did the snowflake. Oh gosh, it's so big it doesn't fit on camera. I did the snowflake on the plane using some 2O seed beads. Those are not in the box. These were just some of my finds while I was in New York. I found some 2O seed beads, some fire polish, and then I was like, I'm going to use these beads on the plane. And then my goal is to make them as extra as possible. So you can't even see it. I'm sorry, I can't even, it's too many beads, but I'm using one of my favorite Softflex colors. This is the garnet.
Oh yeah, I love that
Which is
color.
like, this or spinel are like a good red for this time of year. Which one do you guys usually use in a holiday trio?
You know, we go back and forth. Garnet, we actually just discontinued spinel, but then vivid, or what is it? What's the color of the year next year? Viva magenta. Looks just like spinel. So I just ordered a whole new batch of it.
Yay!
So we have both. We use garnet a lot at Christmas time because it's like a nice cranberry color.
Yeah, so this is going to be perfect. So my goal is I have 1 strand of just as long as I could go. I mean, I guess it theoretically could go longer.
That would look nice, like hanging on a door, Sam.
Yeah, it could be kind of like almost feel like a wreath because it does. I could see that.
Yeah. You know what would be nice is like a bell at the bottom too. I love when like doors kind of jingle at Christmas time. It's so cute.
Go get a bell.
Yeah, a little bell at the bottom would be adorable.
Oh, I love that idea. So there's my ornament inspiration, keeping it nice and simple with these frames. All you need basically are some round nose pliers to turn your ends, and it's a really like pretty stiff steel. So I usually turn it with my round nose and then finish it with some flat nose just to really bring the loop closed. And then the goal being you hopefully don't even notice how you notice the loops in the end, and you've got some lovely ornaments.
Allison has a really good idea. She says, what if you ran Softflex through the ends of each spoke on the star and spring beads between them? That's interesting.
Well, that's too genius.
So she's saying everybody is saying how much they love your ornaments, and it's a good idea to hang the snowflake at the bottom. Lori's saying what a cute window hanger it would be.
It would totally work. Yeah, I could fill these up with beads. That's a great idea. So if I'm on it kind of fits with the mission of making these as extra as possible.
Oh, that's fun. If it was all white with the white Softflex, that would look really cool.
I think we have a new idea for the ornament frames. Thank you. Who suggested that? That was
Allison.
I love that idea.
Yeah, really great idea. Something for Sam to play with.
Yeah, so I'm just going to be
So are all of these things available on your website, Sam?
A good chunk of them are. The main goodies you'll find are the Christmas box, and we also have some of those individually, and the ornament frames. Some of these goodies I just snagged when I was in New York doing some digging, and just couldn't wait to start playing with those. But those will be, keep an eye on the shop, keep an eye on the live sales and such, and you'll find all sorts of fun things coming up. We do 2 live sales a week, so we always have something new going on.
Well, if you love Sam's ornament, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And I hadn't said it before, but if you guys like and share the video and comment, we will choose a giveaway winner at the end. We're going to do it old school. Thomas will choose. So be sure you're commenting, liking, and sharing this video in order to enter to win a prize from Softflex Company. So if you love this ornament, make sure you click that thumbs up button and share with your friends. Okay, so I'm going to flip on over to Kay now and see what she's got going on her workbench. That's pretty awesome, Sam. Thanks for showing all of that to us.
Thanks, Sarah.
And you can shop from Sam at samsbeadshop.com.
Absolutely.
Hi, Miss Kay. Oh, you're muted still.
Well, good, because you got that big surprise like, whoa, I'm big now. I got.
There she is.
Hi. I'm Kay of Stars Beads, and I am, excited to play with ornaments with you guys here tonight. I'm going to be showing, I don't know, I was thinking, like, I don't know about you guys, but since beads are small, I also have like a mini tree. And in this case, I have a little gnome tree. He's not lit up right now because I thought I might throw off the lighting. But so, sometimes my ornament might not be as big. So I have some little smaller ornament ideas. So I thought I'd kind of show off some ones that I've been doing on a little show that I call Bead with Me on my live that I do on a weekly Monday and Wednesday. And I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time seeing all the comments and seeing how all the StreamYard works. But I'm excited to show off a few extra ideas as I get ready for my Friday night live here right after this. I don't know how long this is going to go on for, but I'll be hopping over onto the Stars Beads Facebook page doing a live show here starting at 9. So,
and what is a Friday night live so people know what to expect?
So a Friday Night Live is the only way you can get Stars stash. I didn't originally have a website. I just started a new one called Beadoria.com, so you can get a lot of your everyday and a lot of my favorite things that I use on a regular basis, like crystals and some certain beads, and now a lot of gemstones and my rainbow tools, and so I put those kind of things on there. But then on Friday Night Live, it's kind of the unusual. Some things are very limited. And in this case, here tonight, I'm excited to be showing off handmade artisans. I'm wearing some of the polymer clay. I'm going to be showing off some of those here in this little ornament, actually, of these little mini ones with the polymer clay, and then some beautiful pendants, all handmade by U.S. artisans.
All right. Do you need a second to switch your camera down?
I think that I can do it.
Just move it around.
Pretty easily.
All right. Look at you. So fancy.
Yeah. Welcome to like Christmas, right? The holidays hit pretty hard. So I was kind of doing ornaments of things that maybe I thought you guys could be using, things that you have at home. So things like your old buttons that you might have a collection of. So on one of the more recent Bead with Me's, I had done some little button trees that you can kind of stack them by size if you want to do them by different colors. And then you can certainly add your crystal beads along the bottom. You could certainly add, beads along the inside as well. Sometimes if you feel like you only have black and white buttons, you could stack them and then use buttons along the top. I had a Christmas stash, maybe some ones that you might get from like Jesse James. I think those might have been from there. And and then I had these ones that I had found in my stashes of, you can certainly use bigger cones, but sometimes you have those little odds and ends. And I have, of course, stars laying around because we're Stars Beads. And so so I had, little cones that you could certainly use and stack and make them kind of look like Christmas trees. And And then I also did a little reindeer one year. This was one we had done with any kind of teardrop and kind of doing some fun. It reminds me of kind of how people do the wire spiders. And then this was one that I was messing around with, and kind of I was into spirals, you know, doing I always like kind of spirals. So this was kind of one that I was showing off and using one of the polymer clay pieces. Sorry, I don't know if that's focusing very well.
It's looking okay. We're seeing it. And everybody is just oohing and awing over all these fantastic ideas. People are still stuck back on the buttons. They thought that was just amazing. So you glossed over it like it was nothing, but they're pretty awesome.
Well, you know, try to get those into the picture too. But you know, I know you could certainly make them as big as you have them, you know, because there's some big buttons out there. So you can certainly make some big trees. You could certainly make this wire form a lot bigger with a larger gauge. So I don't know if we were doing projects tonight, you know, or just showing ideas. I mean, they could show like how to make a spiral. Since
yeah, if you want to show us how to make a spiral tree, I think that would be really cute.
Kind of like this. Would that be something?
Yeah, you know? I see a lot of people are commenting how much they like that. If you have that stuff handy.
All right, let's see. Of course, we have some Softflex craft wire that's available on beadoria.com, of course, as well as from Softflex themselves. So I've got some 18 and some 22 gauge that we can use. Of course, you can use a bit thicker if you want your ornament to be bigger. But I figure we could be wearing our ornaments in our ears too. So
for sure.
Right.
Kay, there's so much joy in your pieces. I love seeing your style in action.
I love how you use unusual materials to make interesting shapes. And you do that in your regular jewelry design too, not just for Christmas. It's really, really neat.
Well, I just I'm like you though, Sarah. I'm kind of on the fly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take about 10 inches of wire here, and I'm gonna grab round nose to get the spiral going right here. And you want this to be fairly tight so your bead that you're gonna use doesn't have to be huge, but that's I don't know if you can. I'm sorry, I'm working at a new angle here. I didn't want it to take too long, though.
You're doing great.
We have so many friends tonight.
Yeah, but I think it's good added value when everyone gets to see some little demonstrations, you know? That's what everyone's here for.
Well, and I was trying to do things where maybe everyone might have them, you know, a little bit of it, because I know that we're, you know, all have, like Sam says, have our own style. So, I mean, we obviously all have the same addiction for beads. So you'll see, I'm just kind of
I don't know what you're talking about.
Welcome to the club, right? I mean, that's why we're having a party to celebrate. It's a holiday party.
All these dang beads.
Well, and we're from all over. So I'm from over in the East Coast. Who else is over here on the East Coast? Because I feel like more of you guys are over there on the West Coast. Let's see.
I think we're all Midwest to West Coasters here.
So yeah. I'm the latest hour right now.
You're the odd woman out. Representing for the whole Eastern Seaboard.
That's crazy. Well, obviously I must be missing something.
Do you ever use tool magic on your chain nose pliers, or do you always just leave them all metal?
Sometimes I'll put masking tape. Sometimes I'll use my nylon jaws. And And then on this other end, you want to kind of curl it so that it can be kind of the bottom. So we're going to make this a little bit, we'll start, but I guess I don't grip, I try not to grip super hard on there to hopefully, you know, not mark up the wire.
Kay, I love your rainbow tools.
Thank you. I love rainbow everything. And this is where you can use maybe bail making pliers if you want to make it larger, but I'm gonna kind of just go with the curve here and grab this with my nylon jaw and kind of hold the curve, because in this case we want to kind of, we're going to try to curl this to this center as much as we can. So am I in the screen? Sorry. All right, and that's fairly close enough. And then I'm going to take my fingers and just start kind of pushing up in that center. I'm going to take that round nose plier and also stick that right in there. So it'll be easier to grab. And I know it looks all crazy when it gets started, but as you pull, it's like a cage, so you can kind of adjust it. You could certainly put beads on this too, you know, but I was just making a wire frame, but that's kind of the idea of the spring part. Then you could certainly grab any color beads that you might have. In this case, we're doing holiday. So I've got some red. And so I've got these little clay ornaments that I'm hanging on the bottom. You could certainly add a crystal teardrop. You could add, you know, some sort of fun charm. And so I'm going to grab a little piece of 22 gauge wire, and then you pretty much just string the beads up through. We're going to make a loop on one side. It's like, how fast can we make this?
You're doing great. It looks beautiful.
You guys can feel free to still have open chat.
I just think
Yeah,
that golden tree is so cute there.
It is adorable. I love it. I feel like Kristen did a pair of earrings like this too, with the green soft wax as the tree, and it was really, really cute.
All right, so now I'm going to just string the beads. So I'm going to have one on top. You have a star, that'd probably be nice. And then I just kind of string until you could do, I guess, multicolor too. And just fill it up.
Oh, it looks so pretty. I love it. And you can use that as an ornament. You could use it as a pendant. You could make it into some earrings. So many options with that piece.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be, you know, right up tight. And if you keep this open, you can kind of either slide this in or I think I can get it in there.
Some people were asking about the gnomes on your table.
Those are going to be available right after this on Friday Night Live. So you can watch tonight's show.
So Friday Night Live is a shopping experience, and you can go. Is it still on Stars Beads page, Facebook page?
Yes, it is.
So make sure you go over to the Star Beads Facebook page after this, click to subscribe to her page and like her page, and then you can watch that Friday Night Live to see what new things she has available this week.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fun polymer clay here.
Ooh, that's going to be really fun tonight. I just can't get over that button snowman.
Really?
It's so cute.
Well, I figure people have buttons at home, so you know. It's
Yeah.
good to break them out, and sometimes they don't look exciting, you know.
Mhm.
Especially you feel like, oh, there's another white button or black
No,
button,
right. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. No, they look great like that. It's really awesome. All
right.
right.
There you go.
The big reveal. Very cool.
And then you can add the charm right there on the bottom.
Awesome. That looks great. Okay, so let's go back to everybody. So here
Thanks
we
for
are.
having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Kay, and I hope you have a fantastic Friday Night Live tonight. We'll see you again soon. Who wants to volunteer to go next? Is anybody pressed for time and they need to go more quickly? No? Okay, I get to just randomly choose. I'm going to choose Abby because I know she's a mom. Danielle, I probably need to choose you next of a young one. So let's do Abby next. And she's in the Midwest, so it's probably getting a little late for you.
I have
Bye,
to run,
Sam.
but bye everyone. I can't wait to see all the projects you come up with. You're all amazing designers.
And
Much
let me
love.
add Rebecca back in really fast because she got removed from the stream. Bye, Sam. There we go. Okay, take it away, Miss Abby.
Hi, thanks, Sarah. My name is Abby, and I am from the Bead Place in Fairview Heights, Illinois. We are about 15 minutes outside of the city of St. Louis, Missouri, but we're on the Illinois side. We have a brick and mortar bead store, and then we also have an online retail store, a retail and wholesale store. It's called beadplace.net. I'm going to switch to my hand cam and show you guys what I have been having fun doing. We have these fun little beaded ornament kits. I think they're called Vintage Sparkle Ornament Kit. I'm going to double check that real quick and drop the link in chat. So in this kit, we have a beautiful tiara cast bezel. And inside that bezel, what we're going to do is we're going to create almost like a faux druzy. So you see how that kind of looks like a dark kind of burgundy red sparkly druzy stone? We're actually going to use Austrian crystal beads to create that sparkle in that bezel. So in our little ornament kit, it comes with a mini bottle of diamond glaze and a vintage bangle bracelet. It comes with some ribbon, a clasp, a bunch of Siam crystal beads, and then some of my favorite chain that you can use kind of like a jump ring. So basically, instead of showing you guys the entire process, what I'm going to do is just kind of show you the most important part, which is how to create this kind of sparkly bezel. I'm going to switch my screen back just a second so I can see the comments because my phone is being silly. So, all right, now I can see what everybody's saying. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a base layer of these beads, and we're going to pour them directly into this bezel. And I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing. We're just going to do a base layer of these beads and try to leave yourself a little bit of room, but have most of it covered. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Yeah, this is a great project to do with kids too. What we're going to do next is we're going to use that little itty bitty bottle of diamond glaze that comes in the kit. Only I'm using my big diamond glaze so I don't waste a little bottle. And we are going to just kind of drizzle this right over the top and try not to do what I just did and get it over the side. Try to just drizzle it right over the top and make sure there's a little bit of diamond glaze everywhere. We don't want it kind of oozing all over the place. We just want a little bit to hold everything in. And you see, sometimes diamond glaze will leave these bubbles in your work. What we want to do to make sure those don't dry like that is we just want to pop them. My favorite way to pop them is with my fingers, but then you get a sticky residue on your hands. So you can use a pin or like a needle if you don't want sticky residue on your hands. But
So those bubbles will dry as a bubble?
Well, they'll dry as like
extra layer.
Yeah, like a weird little circle of gum. It's
and this dries clear. This must dry clear.
It does.
This is fascinating.
Sometimes it'll dry, like if you use too thick of a layer, sometimes it'll dry cloudy, or sometimes it'll dry kind of tinted blue, depending on if there's a chemical reaction that happens with any coatings on your metal or ink on any paper. But it's always best to do a really thin layer and then it'll dry crystal clear. So now what I'm going to do after I've added that base layer is I'm just kind of sprinkling my last few crystals on top. And I'm just kind of pushing stuff around just to get them where I want them. And you can kind of intentionally fill in the blanks, or you can make it look kind of random, like what I'm doing. And then that way it looks a bit more natural. So there's probably enough diamond glaze here for this to hold. But I'm just going to take some extra precautions and I'm going to go back in and just drizzle a little bit more lightly over the top.
So someone's asking, so is this resin?
It is a water-based dimensional adhesive. So it's more like a clear glue than anything. I don't know that I would call it resin, but it works like a really thin, beginner-friendly resin. Now, when it says dimensional adhesive, don't think you're going to get a dome over the top like a lot of resins will do, or like an epoxy can do. This is not going to dry right if you try to dome it up. It has to be pretty flat. This is just mainly going to be an adhesive. So you can create a glaze over the top, like the name, diamond glaze. Or you can use it to glue paper together or to adhere like a glass dome on top of a bezel. I'm reaching to grab.
And they get a whole bottle of it in the kit.
They get one of our 10 milliliter mini bottles, which is good for multiple applications. So like you could use diamond glaze to add a glass dome on top of a papered bezel. I like to use it that way. And then this kind of faux druzy way of using it is definitely one of my favorite applications as well. So once you've done this, you're going to let it dry completely. I would say if you've used a lot of diamond glaze, to let it dry for a couple hours, but it might be good to go after about a half hour. So next, what you would need to do after it's dry is you would just open up the chain. Let me see if I can get that focused. I'll zoom out a little bit. You would just open up the chain. There we go. Crispy clear, at least on my end. So you would just open up the chain just like you would a jump ring. They're open link chain. And you would attach the bezel into the bottom. Then you'd skip a link and then attach the bangle. Skip a link and then attach your clasp. And this clasp actually functions as an ornament hook. I hate those little wire ornament hooks because in my opinion, they don't hold very well, like the ones that you can get in a big box of 100. I just think they don't look as nice as they should. So I love using this Tiara Cast S hook clasp as an ornament hook, and I'll often replace some of my nicer ornaments on my tree with this. It just looks nicer and it's adjustable. You can kind of open and close it a little bit so that it can hold kind of on all different shaped tree branches. And you can pinch it on tighter once you get it on. And then the piece de la resistance. I always worry if I say that wrong. I hope I said that right. What you're going to do is you're going to use the 2 feet of satin style ribbon that comes in your kit. And you're just going to tie a cute little bow right on the very center link. And then it hangs like that.
It's so pretty and unique. What a great project.
Thank you. I'm going to drop the link to the kit in chat just in case anybody wants to check it out. And
do you have some of the parts separate as well if they wanted to do like the pieces that have the crystal in it?
Yes, we do. We have all of the parts separate except for the vintage bangle. We have a limited supply of the vintage bangles. They're just available in the kit, but we sell everything else separately as well.
That's awesome, because you could make those into druzy pendants, and I bet a lot of people would love to make that and hang it from chain, and it would look really, really terrific.
Definitely. And I like to one more thing.
Go ahead,
I like to mix the colors of crystal as well and mix the sizes, and that's really fun to add more dimension also.
Okay, I'm going to come back to everybody so everybody's prepared. Zooming in on you all of a sudden. So Abby, quick question. Do you have other ornament kits in your store, or is that the only one right now?
We do. We have, and they might be sold out before I say we do. We have a beautiful Austrian crystal snowflake ornament that may or may not be sold out. And then we have some fun Grinch inspired kits that are available as well.
I like it. Okay, I'm going to add this into the stream, and then I think I'm going to go to Danielle. One more time, Abby, what is your website for them to go shop at?
It is beadplace.net.
Okay, so everybody can pick up that kit at beadplace.net, and then make sure you're following Abby on YouTube. She is one of the best YouTube channels around.
Thanks.
For step-by-step videos, and a lot of them still have kits that are available, which I think is pretty unusual within the beaded circle, that most of the things, even if it's an older video, she still has that kit and you can still order it and make it, which is really nice. Okay, Miss Danielle, you are up next. Make sure you unmute yourself though.
I'm like talking to myself.
Okay.
I just dropped the link in the chat. I'm not sure if I didn't see it pop up on StreamYard yet, but I put it in through my phone. No, it was let's see. I'll find it. It was let's see. DanielleWorksJewelry.com patterns and tutorials ornaments party. I put it in on YouTube, so I'm not sure if it came in over there or if I'm even on someone. No, I'm on Softflex. Let's see.
It's so good to see you, Danielle.
It's good to see you too. Oh yeah, there it goes. I think Thomas found it.
There we go. I'll get it up
so
there.
I put instructions for my ornament. I just wrote them earlier today. I got them done. And you and I are going to teach this live on December 21st.
There we go.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so
sometimes the comments are moving so fast. It's like a whack-a-mole trying to get the right comment before it moves.
Thank you.
Yes, Danielle's coming back. And what is the date on that again, Danielle? The 21st?
We're on the 21st, right? Is that?
I think so. That sounds right. Yeah. It's a week and a half from now. Danielle will be back for a live beading party, just her and me. And she's got a really great ornament idea that she's going to do step by step on that day.
Yeah. And that's this one here that I'm about to share. Let me switch my camera. I forgot I'm in a different camera setup today. Okay, here we go. And it should come into focus pretty quick. There we go. So these are just some fun little, they're not very big. They are about 2 inches or so in diameter, across. And the charms in the center are the John Bead Sweet and Petite, which is they're on Softflex website.
Mm-hmm.
And so the link that is up here on the screen from Jessie has links to all of these materials on your website and on Sam's Bead Shop, which is where I got all my materials. So these aren't actual kits. They're just things that I put together using things from your guys' shops.
Awesome. Yeah, these are going to be so fun. It looks like we've got some really beautiful tiara cast rings there. And then those gorgeous little charms are adorable. I love it.
them.
Really
They're
nice.
fun. And the other
Yeah.
things going on here are I used the 26 gauge craftware. And I wrapped what's these are 2-hole check twin beads, but you can also use a super duo. But the 2-hole check twin are a little smaller and they have a little bit bigger hole diameters, so it's easier to get things like wire through. And these are on Sam's Bead Shop. And then the next step is to switch to bringing out the Soft Flex Fine and going through the outside hole of those twin beads or, super duo, and putting little size 11 seed beads inside.
So here's the good news with that list of products, you can actually order tonight and probably still get your items in time to make with us on the 21st when we have Danielle back for a full hour to show us how to make these ornaments. So make sure you check out that list that we just posted and grab your items between Sam's Bead Shop and softflexcompany.com to come make this ornament with us. And then maybe some of these things you even have on hand already, that you can pull out and we can make along right before Christmas for some last minute stuff. I like making all the way up till Christmas.
Me too. I do the same. And I think by the time you and I do our live, I'll have a few versions going because I was thinking of different sizes. So like this is the 1.25 inch hoop that I've used here. And those are on Sam's. And you guys have the little ones. This is the 25 millimeter. And so how cute would this be? Like I was just coming up with something that looked like that.
Cute. I love that.
Something really fun that we'll just go to town. We'll just play and come up with beautiful things.
That's going to be so much fun. Thanks for showing that to us, Danielle. And just hats off to johnbead.com, who you represent for. And all their cute holiday stuff. We love their little sweet and petites, which we are carrying at softflexcompany.com this holiday season.
I'm so glad you picked those up. I love these, and now I get to play with them.
They're so cute.
There's others. I just have the reindeer and the snowflake here, but you guys got the Santa and the mittens. And
I know. Yeah, we've got a bunch of them. I put them all out on my tray, so when I go last, I'll show everybody what they look like. Yay. All right. I'm going back to everybody. Here we come. Which little elf wants to go next? Sarah James, you ready to go? Okay.
Sure.
I'm on it.
When Sarah
my
said
buddy.
little elf, I assumed that she was speaking about me with the Santa gear on. But anyway, I just want to say hi. I'm Sarah James from JessieJamesBeads.com. We do a lot of work with SoftFlex. You guys are some of our favorites to create for and create with. And we love doing these kind of events, like these live, online, in-person sort of broadcasts. So to everyone that's in the crowd, hi and welcome. It's officially the holiday season. And I hope that your week is starting to become a little more, your days are becoming a little more merry and bright than the day before it. And what better way to do a little bit of celebrating and prep for the holidays than with some ornaments? Okay, so what I was excited about, I got a couple things here. I kind of took a note from Kay's book with the small Christmas trees. I've got a couple on my mantelpiece up there that you can see. And like Sam, my trees have been a little bit bare. I, for one, love a good Christmas tree. I don't know about you guys, but I love Christmas trees and decorating trees and lights and sparkle. I think that that's like the little magpie nature that we can all kind of stand behind. So tonight I've got for you some fun little sparkles to add to your tree. And I'm gonna take my camera down. I gotta move the camera and then go down to the mat. But first, I wanted to share with you, I was talking about this with Sarah and our entire awesome crew here before we went live. In my ornament box for my Christmas tree at home, I've got some Jesse James Beads relics of strands that have never gotten turned into jewelry, and they never will. They're made for the tree. They came from jessijamesbeads.com. They have just stayed as is in their 7-inch form, and they get strung up on the tree just like that.
I mean, they are like an ornament all on their own.
They really are. Well, okay. So at Jesse James Beads, what we do is we take beads that go together, whether it's size or color or telling some sort of story through beads, and we put them into a collaborative little box or on a string like this to serve as like an inspiration launch pad, if you will, for your creativity. So I know that there's some Jesse James Beads fans out there, and I know that some of you have got some strands that are your absolute favorite and they're your treasures. And it's just like, I can't even bear to break this strand apart because it's so beautiful. Well, maybe the strand gets broken apart and turns into jewelry in 2023. But for 2022, from now until the end of the year, it could get hung on your tree as just something special that you enjoy to look at and marvel with. So that's those are some of the ornaments, the original strands that started as ornaments in this household. But I want to take you on down here because I've got some things going on my jewelry mat. I was not making a joke, making a serious earlier that I came to this live stream 2 hours early. So I've actually just had some time to sit around and create jewelry, which I'm just very grateful for that, because there's a lot of things that go on with creative stuff, with work, but a lot of things that go on. And sometimes creativity gets put on a back burner for me when it is something that's really dear to me. So to be here, Sarah, to be invited by Softflex to come and make ornaments with you guys has really made my Friday night. And I'm excited to share this with you. So just give me a second while I do a little flipperoo. Sorry that we're very up close and personal right now. Hold please.
StreamYard's always very, very tricky for switching around.
Do you know, I mean, I do it all the time, but I'm usually like, I'm usually driving and putting everybody else on the camera and off the camera, not doing a backwards and forwards.
Put this up while you're switching. We have a holiday crafting marathon going on in our Softflex VIB group, and you can join it anytime, and you can use any prompt at any time. So we will be giving away some prizes on January 4th to 10 people who have participated, and it will be chosen at random. So check that out in the Softflex VIB group. Okay, you're all ready, Sarah?
I'm ready.
Awesome.
All right, thanks for bearing with me. Okay, so over at jessijamesbeads.com, we have a very robust holiday collection with some really fun strands that we put out. The November Magical Mystery Bead box was just revealed recently. And I went about making some little bitty ornaments for my tiny trees out of some of the beads that I have in my holiday collection from JJB. So our holiday strands, and I was really excited about these, we came up with holiday movie classics. So like I was saying before, we like to tell a story with our beads. And we came up with 6 different movie titles that are some of our favorites.
That's my favorite holiday movie.
Sarah, I have been like, it's been on my mind for the past week. Kevin McAllister. I've got to watch Home Alone and probably Home Alone 2 right after it back to back. It's coming sometime in the very near future in this house.
I already watched it with my oldest, and my middle kid thinks it's too scary still.
Oh.
But it is kind of scary, the idea of being left home alone.
Yeah, and then getting burgled.
And then having people try to break into your home. Yeah, I know. It's a little bit much. So she's seen it and she was like, I'm not watching that again. That's too scary.
So what I did here was I took one of these strands and I just broke it down almost in the order that it came in. And then I started getting a little bit, flipping the beads around to make it make most sense for me. And I created these little teeny tiny ornaments with some burlap ribbon at the top. It's so super simple. I'm sure you have beads in your stash that could turn themselves into tiny little ornaments like this. And I love the look of adding a little bit of fiber to the top of the ornament, just to give it a little bit of that shabby chic look. So this bead strand, Home Alone, we modeled this off of the McAllister's home decorations that you see so often through the movie. So this is a color palette that's repeated many, many times in the film. And if you haven't watched it yet this season, I hope that you find yourself with some Kevin McAllister Home Alone time in the near future. This one here, I did the similar sort of situation, and I'll show you how this twists up in just a minute. I've watched so much of Jem Hawks over on the Jesse James Beads channel make these wire coils. I swear I've never made one before in my life. I took my wire out, and excuse my manicure needs to be done. I took my wire out and the pliers that I know that Jem uses, which is just your simple round nose pliers, and I like to use the bent chain nose pliers, as they're called, to twist up these coils, add some beads on, little loop at the top. And then I added in also one of our little dress it up button shop buttons, just to sweeten the deal for this little wee ornament here. So this bead in particular came from the Magical Mystery Bead Box November. And right now at Jesse James Beads, we've got free shipping, and that is only for you guys watching this video or any friends that you share the information with. But your code is ornament, like the ornaments that we're making here. And that will get you free US shipping with no minimum order. So if you need any holiday goodies, or even if you're looking to subscribe to Magical Mystery Bead Box, we've got your shipping covered. Okay then, so I have got with me some wire, and this is full disclosure. I'm not exactly sure the gauge of this wire because it's just been floating around my stash, but a hunch tells me that this is 20 gauge. I know it's not my 18 gauge. So what I'm gonna do is cut off a piece probably about that big. My flush pliers. I had the the experience of being able to explain to my fiance the other day the difference between flush pliers, flush cutters, and non-flush cutters, because he was doing some electrical work with pliers in the house from his toolbox, but they were not flush. And because they were not flush, it caused what he was doing not to work. So I was like, oh, you need pliers that are flat, like flush cutters. This is what we use in the jewelry making industry. And you need to cut them you need to use the flat side towards the size that you need to be flat. Yada, yada, yada. Let me just clear my space a bit here. Okay, so what I'm going to start doing here is just warming my wire up a little bit. If you watch Jem Hawks, you already know this trick very, very well. This is like a pre-step to work hardening, because what you're doing is you're making the wire nice and warm, which gets the particles in the wire all excited, so that you can then the wire becomes a little bit more malleable for you. And then when it cools down, like 24 hours later, it's actually harder. So get it nice and warm. Feels warm to the touch. And now I am just going to make a little curve in the tip of the wire here. And I'm talking like we're just starting to round this guy over, because then we're going to come in with our other pliers. I like to give it a little squish down. And no, my curves that I do in my wire are not perfect, but I don't think that Christmas needs to be perfect. So that's okay. Now I'm going to grip the little loop-de-doo that I made right here with the pliers. and start to twist. Now, this is probably a time where you could employ your, Sarah, tell me the name of it, the stuff that you coat your pliers with.
Tool Magic, which
Tool-
was really hard to get for a long time, but I think we finally just got some in. It took like 6 months. It was one of those supply chain issue
situations.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I think that we all in this industry have known or dealt with something of that at one point or another.
I mean,
So,
every
yes.
industry. It's
Every
really
industry.
been a wild ride these last few years. And I should mention that while Sarah's doing this, these are all
please.
small businesses who work super hard. A lot of the folks that you're seeing here tonight, they are a one-woman show, one-man show, or only have a few employees. So anytime you're purchasing from any of these companies, all of us will be super grateful. Especially this Christmas has been very tough for small businesses, especially in the beading industry. As I talk with folks, they're having kind of a difficult Christmas season. So make sure you're supporting your favorite little small business.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. So this is, this organization, this show tonight that Sarah and the team at Softlex have put together, just taking that and bending it upwards. I don't usually make jewelry on camera. Just
I know this
like
is
these
like
went
an
a lot
unusual
smoother when I was doing
thing,
it
Sarah
without the people
James.
watching. Okay, so I just bent that upwards like this, and I'm straightening out the wire. But what I was saying is, what Sarah's talking about is the small businesses right now. Everyone that's on this camera right now is a small business, and we all literally do the happy dance when an order comes through. So thank you for your support and just your love of creativity. Our industry is so awesome. I feel so lucky to be able to be here right now with you guys and
thanks for being here.
Bring a little
Sarah.
holiday cheer.
You only have several hundred people watching. No worries.
Oh, great. Hi, everyone. Okay. All right. So what I did here, I'm going to get my other little ornaments out the way because my bead mat is like tinier than tiny. So I just slid some of my beads off of my Home Alone strand. And guys, all of these are available over at jessiejamesbeads.com in the holiday collection. And I did mention we've got free shipping this weekend with the code Ornament.
Ooh.
And now, yeah, because, Sarah, that was really nice of you to offer for all of us businesses to put some sort of deal or something like that out there. And I was thinking about it right before we went on. I was like, well, what does everyone love around this time of year? Like, free shipping is great. So there you have it.
And shipping has become exponentially more expensive this last year, especially. So when a small business is offering you free shipping, it's a really nice deal and they're paying for it heavily on the other end.
It is true. I just bent that over and do it a little bit more warming. And I'm going to take this and just wrap it on over. I like to hold my pliers like that, do a good flip of the wrist, readjust, and then bend the wire back to position. And then from there, we're going to grip our loop, never gripping over the crossy point there. And just going to wrap it around. So I had this weird, kind of morbid thought when I was making these little ornaments just before.
What?
I feel like a wrapped loop that's not a messy wrap loop kind of looks like a noose. I'm like, I need to get that away from my ornament.
Right.
So
you got to mess it up a little bit.
Well, I love a messy wrapped loop, but this ornament these beads in particular felt so elegant that I didn't want to boho them more, if that makes any sense. So up at the top, I just grab the tail end of my pliers and do a little roundness here. And then again, gonna take this
and make another coil at the top.
Oh, what a cute way to end it.
Yeah, and it's not perfect, but again, neither is Christmas, so that's okay.
And I just wanted to say, I see Cassandra from Beads to Live By in the background. I'll add
Yay.
you in between, okay? So know I see you.
Hi, Cassandra.
I'll add
This
you
is
in
such a
just a
great
minute.
crew.
I know. So many fantastic folks tonight. You're seeing a lot of our friends who are part of Customer Appreciation Week with us. And it's like a little bit of a thank you to all of them for helping us with that big week in September. Hopefully we'll be doing it again next year. I got to sweeten the pot wherever I can to get them to come back and do it again.
Well, we love supporting our friends at Softflex Wire. That is
Thank
anything
you.
that we can do. So I am just going to take this little ribbon. You can get any sort of special ribbon from the craft store, or you can get it from Walmart. Like, ribbon is everywhere. And Jesse James Beads are also, we have a special line that's sold only at Walmart stores, which is very special to me because some people live in remote areas where craft shops aren't readily available. And it is nice to be able to go into the store and be able to purchase something. You know, we have the online capability, which is fantastic, but to be able to reach some remote locations where they might not have, you know, a really wonderful bead shop, like some of these wonderful bead shops that are with us here tonight, I feel lucky to be able to sort of provide that. And then here we go. We just tie the little ribbon off at the top. And then the ornament is ready for the little ornament tree or the top of the regular tree, or it could be a present topper, or it could be like a hostess gift. Super, super easy. And let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3 ornaments already out of this strand. There's still probably 2 ornaments left in it.
Oh, wow.
And
that all came from that strand?
yeah, you get a lot of bang for your buck with it. It's really,
That's
really
cool.
awesome. And they're fun to make. Like, this has just been
They're
so fun to
adorable.
sit around and create a little bit.
They look great. They're really good. I'm going to come back to everybody real fast. And then I'm going to add in Cassandra.
That was fun, guys. Thanks for having me and Jesse James Beads here to hang out.
Hi, Miss Cassandra.
Hello. As promised, I am here from the Christmas party, toasty and ready to celebrate.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Well, we're
Cassandra.
glad to see you. I'm glad you were able to make it, and I'm looking forward to seeing your ornament. Does anybody need to run quickly and need to go next? Put your hand up so I make sure I'm not holding anybody too long. Okay, I think we've got maybe Joyce or Rebecca. Let's go with Joyce because she's on top, and then Rebecca after you. And Cassandra, can you bring up the tail end? Does that work?
I'm good.
Okay, great. And then I'll go last. Okay, so we're going to go to Miss Joyce.
Hello.
And
Happy
just in
holidays,
case you
everyone.
missed it, before we get going, Joyce, make sure you check out all that fun stuff that Sarah just showed us at jessijamesbeads.com. That is her website. And now we're on to Miss Joyce, owner of Just Bead It out of Concord,
Hello.
California, right across the water from me.
Yes. Yes. With the little ferry ride over. I could take the ferry ride to you.
We could take the ferry together and see all the fun sights.
That would be a lot of fun.
That would be a lot of
I
fun,
would love
especially at
that.
this time of year. The city is so
Yes,
pretty at
sure.
this time of year.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what you got going on, Joyce? How have you been?
I've been all right. You know, just we're moving things again in a way, trying to reorganize our stuff. So I have a lot to share because I found weird goodies today, and I'm like, okay, I should add these on here too. But the main thing is I have a couple different ideas. One, we have some kits left over from our little, these are little sewn on and glued on crystals, but sewn on beads onto a filigree to make a little cute. I mean, you could wear it as a pendant if you wanted to. But we have these kits, so I have a couple colors to show you on that. I found these. This is what I just found, these little wire forms. So as you were
Ooh.
talking, I've been sitting adding beads to the snowflake one. So I'm going to show you that. I have this one that was I already made this one like years ago. And if you don't like doing wire, this is done with soft flex and crimps.
Oh,
So
to make it easier. Yeah. Very
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I have that. And then I have another different thing. So I have my little springy kind of ribbony ornament could go in the window, it could go on a bigger tree. This is made out of memory wire.
Cute. I love the little
like
reindeer at the bottom's
yeah.
adorable.
I'm going to
All
show you how
right.
to kind of like get the memory wire to be a little bit less like this and more like this.
Yeah. Well, let's flip your camera down and
Yes,
take a good look at all of this. And let me know if you need me to give you a minute. We'll go over here and let you flip around. I hope you guys are having so much fun tonight. Make sure you're commenting, liking, and sharing to enter to win. I'm going to put together a little holiday gift for whoever wins. I will name the winner at the end of the show, so make sure you're here at the end to claim your prize. And Thomas will be picking someone at random, so make sure you're liking, sharing, and commenting. I see Cindy says, what a great use of memory wire. I totally agree. Let's take a look at what Joyce has on her table.
Okay. Usually I do things earlier on in the day and I have daylight to come into this room. So I'm sorry, I realize this is kind of going to get dark and I don't have a true, so hopefully that helps. I'm going to balance a weird light on it. It won't attach me. Oh, I can't. Oh, thank you. Sorry.
You're okay.
So the memory wire. So most of the time it comes, now I'm using a 2¼ inch. This actually will do well on like the 2 inch or the 1 3/4, because it'll make it a little bit smaller. I've even done this with the ring memory wire if you have some of that lying around. And that will make even a smaller little twisty roo. But I'm using the 2¼ inch. And when it comes like this, it can, it's very spring back. It's great, but you kind of have to play with it a little to get it to be bouncy. Part of it is adding the beads, and part of it is doing a little stretching. So the first thing I do is I cut about what I want, and I can do about 3 to 4 little curls. I don't do this I don't measure it. I just kind of go, that looks good. Make sure you use your memory wire cutters. Don't use anything else.
Do you have those ornament frames in your shop, Joyce?
They are going up. I just found them and I had not gotten a chance to link them, but they are going ASAP.
Okay, great.
And
So
they
look for
run
that
about $2
in your Etsy shop.
And in our Etsy shop, yeah.
Okay, just beat it on Etsy.
So it's Just Bead It Conquered. All one word is our name of our shop. I like to get this started. You want to pull it apart. You want to like really bounce it and pull it apart. And that's going to see how much more open it is already. You just really pull it hard and bounce it. It will just open up a little bit, and that will start your like kind of, to me, they look like curly cues ribbon. If you only put, you could only, you could do one color sea bead, and then it would really look like little streamers of ribbon on your tree, but a little shiny.
So cute. I could see these hanging off of like a fireplace or all sorts of cute places.
Yes, you could like hang these off of, a lamp or your ceiling fan or something cute. Get a little extra decoration in the house, especially with these larger memory wire. Now, when you make your curls, I tend to do it with my round nose pliers, but don't use the tips. Just decide on a large loop. A large loop will make whatever you dangle off of it like a charm. It will have more flow anyway, and it's easier to twist this wire that way. Try to use the tips of it. It's really hard to maneuver. This memory wire is stainless steel. It is just a very stiff. That's why it has some memory, but by striking it out, we relax some of that memory for this project. Use the base of your round nose pliers really far down in there. You'll have more grip that way, and you'll be able to twist it easier.
That's a great
just go, yeah. If you try to do it, you're not going to be able to hold it very well. So way inside, you'll be able to hold it and just twist it around until you get your loop closed.
The memory wire can be so hard on tools, especially at the very tip. It'll even sometimes turn your round nose pliers that they slide past each other.
And then I just take my T-nose pliers and hold onto it and bend it sharp upwards so that it will hang better. Now, I like to take out I like to start and end and make this like a little bit smaller. So I will take it and just with my hand start pushing it in and bending it a little bit. Not a whole lot, but just a little. Now, sometimes it will get more of a kink, but once the bead's on there, you're not going to notice that kink. And just kind of press it in, and then that way it looks like it's more spiral and it's not as big.
Also very
loading it up.
Joyce, I'm going to step away for just 1 minute, just so you know, but I'll be right back, okay? Keep going.
And then I like to start with sea beads. Now I have size 6 sea beads on here. You can use whatever size you want to use, but I find that the 6, it's really nice and big and quick and easy. Big holes. You don't have to, don't have to worry about it too much. And then you can just slide them down, get a few on here. Now I like to hold this with the curve towards me and push the coils out of the way to make it easier for me to just jab through those beads. And just catch them before they fall off the curve. Put your finger on there. Keep it from falling down. And then let those slide down. And then you can kind of play with larger beads. If you add larger beads, like I have some 6mm fire polish and some, 10mm, I believe. Yeah, 10mm. If I start adding those 10mm really help add weight. So it adds as it's hanging down, it will gravity will work for you. And just keep adding your beads until you have, come up with a little pattern. I have the silver I'm using right now, but this one I did gold. I don't know if you can see that there's like it perfect on a little bit on camera. If you use one of like the gold or the copper and you do these clear beads, you're going to see a little bit of that reflection, which will add to the look. And you'll have with the Christmas lights or the sunlight going through them if you put them in the windows. I saw that somebody had some in their bay windows. That must be gorgeous. I love that.
Those crystals are so sparkly. Can they get those on your website?
I finally found my stash of them, so they're going up. They were with those forms, so those are going up with the forms. Yes, so you will be able to get them.
Okay,
And they
when do
are.
you think they'll be up? Because I know there's a ton
I'm
of
going to
people
put
that are
those.
gonna be
Yeah, I'm going
excited
to be
about
putting them up tomorrow morning.
it. Okay.
Because I need to take some photos, and the morning light. The morning light is
Okay,
where I could do it.
So Saturday.
So I was Saturday tomorrow. And I am doing a promo code on my Etsy, 10% off Ornament 2022. Use
Terrific.
that. You'll get 10% off, and it will be good until the 19th.
The word ornament and the number 22 is the code, right?
2022, the year, the full year.
2022.
Yeah.
Okay. Code ornament 2022 for 10% off your shop.
Mm-hmm. So that will include everything on there. We already have like the reindeers are already up there, and the other kits are up there. A few other, and the memory wires up there too if you don't happen to have any. Now you do have to watch when you curl it. Sometimes the larger beads don't like to make it around, so you just kind of have to get them, open it up a little bit, move it down, and then you can tighten that back up.
Very cool. What a fun little easy ornament to make. And then you just attach your reindeer to the hook, right?
Yeah, I just made a loop at the bottom and just went right directly onto that.
That looks so cool. Do you want to show us those forms one more time? Because I think there were lots of people interested in those.
Yes.
And that's not a form I'm seeing everywhere. So they're a little bit different.
And this is like an old stock. I don't even know if I can get them again. So there is a small, I only do have a small amount, but so we have like this flower form.
Cool.
And then a star.
Oh, a star, you guys.
And then the snowflake.
The snowflake is fantastic. How do you anchor the beads on the end? I saw you stringing them on. Do you just loop the end?
So I took wire.
Oh, you're wire wrapping them on.
I'm wiring them on. So they're not, it's not actually, strung on because they have little balls at the end. I'm using soft lift track wire, 24 gauge. I would say 26 is probably going to be a little easier to use with that. And it's just connecting a piece, and I connected around the bottom here. Just wrapped it around and did each one a separate wire. Added 5 beads. These are size 60 beads.
Cute.
And then you could just go
flipping away from you.
Oh,
silly StreamYard.
Yeah, you could. And my camera's moving on me. And then I just wrap around the base here, and you could just wrap it right. Oh my. You could just wrap it there and call it a day, but what I did was to kind of anchor them. I then coiled in between each of the beads and around the base
Mm-hmm.
to just kind of anchor them a little bit more.
That's awesome.
And then moved on over to the other side, and then I was able to do the whole thing with one piece of wire and just anchored them each.
Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people want that snowflake. So when you
It's
post
great,
it,
huh?
when you
Yes.
post it tomorrow, make sure you post everywhere so people know. You can even come back to this
I
video.
will share that link.
Post
Yeah,
a link.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
this one was done with
Go ahead.
the crimps. I just did the soft flex across, added the beads, and put little crimps on either side of the beads so that they stayed in place, and then was able to crimp it on. So you could also play with that.
That's
I really
almost like
like
the
that
idea
one,
somebody had
Joyce.
given Sam at the beginning, putting the soft flex
Yeah,
around the whole outside.
exactly. When
That's
they
so
mentioned that,
funny.
I was like, oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, you're
That
like,
one
I
was
have that.
very flower power, like 1960s Christmas.
I
Yes,
love that fun over the coast. All right,
that's really
that's me.
good. All right. Who do we have next? Miss Rebecca, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Look
Thanks
at
everybody
this.
for hanging in there all night long.
Ooh.
Oh, she's gonna wow us.
Look at all those beautiful.
I love beaded ornaments. We
Oh my
have
gosh.
so many of these. We have a bunch of kits right now on our website. This is the shooting star with double layers of embellishments and these super, super long bugle beads. And this one is Charming Christmas. Oop, quit wiggling. There we go. Charming Christmas. This has some tiara cast Christmas charms on there. And the two
These
hole
are all
dagger beads.
kits, like standalone kits. You can get the whole
Standalone
kit.
kits. Yep. And some of them we also just have the PDF. So if you want to work from your stash, this one I was going to show you guys a little bit more of tonight. This way. This is Follow the Star, where you make a bunch of these little, depending on the color, right? They either look like stars or poinsettias or snowflakes, and it just makes this really pretty ornament. And this is what we're doing on special this weekend. We have lots of different kits in our Christmas collection, and if you spend $99 or more in the Christmas collection, you actually get one of these Follow the Star kits for free. Just throw it into your cart. You don't need a coupon code.
Wow, that's a really generous
Aren't these
gift.
cool?
Did you guys all hear that? Very nice.
I have to show you this one too. This is one of Richard's designs. This is the sugar crystal wedding cake. Layer cake, sorry. I think of it as a wedding cake because these are our wedding colors. But it's the sugar crystal layer cake. And we only have a few kits left of this one.
I mean,
right? Just
they look like
layer after
Fabergé
layer after
eggs.
layer. Right?
They're so beautiful.
How long would it take to put this one together for someone who's brand new to doing this?
The layer cake?
Mm-hmm.
Don't start there. in all seriousness, this should not be your first ornament. This one, it's 10 pages of diagrams. Don't start there.
Which should be the first one and how long?
Your first ornament, let's grab one of these little ones. This is Very Merry, and you can make Very Merry in just a couple hours. We have kits of this, we have the PDF, and I have some video demos on our YouTube of some of the key parts of this one. This is a great beginner project. And if you've done any like basic bead stitching before, you can do Follow the Star, again, just in a few hours. Because what you're going to do is you're going to make all these little stars. There's only 5 of them, and I'll show you how to make one. They're really easy. So you make your 5 stars, and then you're going to stitch your ring at the top, And then these long columns, that's herringbone stitch. So you sew those down, you put a star on the end of each one, and then these swoops, that's just stringing. So you just have to pick up your beads and just sew from one star to the next.
Wow, it's so pretty. I'm excited to see how the star comes together.
They're really easy. I'll show you. I'm gonna need a second to flip my camera around because I'm doing like, I don't know. I've never like used my holder.
I'm still going to be
this
coming
way.
up at the end, and I have got a really cute Christmas tree ornament. I make Christmas trees every year using craft wire and beads. I make all sorts of shapes, but Christmas trees are usually my favorite to make. So I hadn't made one yet this year. I did a new bell, but I wanted to do a Christmas tree. So that'll be coming up here in just a minute. If you love to make craft wire ornaments, stick around. Make sure you like, comment, and share to enter to win. I'm going to put together a cute little Christmas package. And if any of you know me, you know I'm very generous when I give a gift. So make sure you're entering to win, and we'll name the winner at the end of the show. Okay, back to Rebecca.
Okay, can you see my tray?
Yes, it might needs to move a little bit or down a little bit, closer to you.
Closer to me?
Closer
How's
to
that?
you. Yeah. There we go. That's better.
Okay, cool. So I already did the center of one, so I can kind of do this like a baking show. So these are gem duos. They're 2-hole beads. The most important thing about working with 2-hole beads is before you start, you need to take your needle and make sure it goes all the way through both holes. We included a whole bunch of extra beads in your kit in case you have any with clogged holes, but you have to do that for all of your beads before you start, because if you sew these beads together here and one of these outer holes is clogged, you're going to be out of luck when you go to do the next layer. So you have to check all of the bead holes first. So I've done that here for the ones that I've laid out. The other thing is, because there's a front and a back to these beads, right? Do you see how there's like a diamond texture on the front and on the back they're just smooth? To make sure that all of your beads are facing the same direction, you want to pay attention to which hole you sew through. So I'm going to be working from the right to the left, and I'm going to sew through the bottom hole. So I'm going to pick up a size 11 seed bead and go through the bottom hole.
Bring your board just a tiny bit closer to you. There we go. We'll see it now.
Better? Okay.
Yep.
So I got a size 11 seed bead, and then I'm sewing through the bottom hole. Get in there.
And you're using a thread that comes in the kit, right?
Correct. Yep. This is 1G beading thread. It's in the kit. You have a whole spool of it. So if you have any oopsies, right, you can just cut a new piece. No big deal. And actually, one of the nice things about this project, if you were a new beader, is you will be starting and stopping your thread quite a bit, because we're going to make all of these stars individually. So for that part, at least you don't have a really long piece of thread to work with. So I've picked up my beads here. I have them on the needle, and I'm going to slide them down, leaving about, let's say, a 6-inch tail at the end of my thread. And now I'm going to take my needle off. I'm using a big eye needle. We put the big eye needles in the kits because they're really easy to use. So it's 2 pieces of wire that are joined at the ends. So this whole thing is the eye. So it's really easy to thread. So I'm just going to take that needle off, and I'm going to tie the 2 ends together in an overhand knot. So just bring the 2 threads together, make a loop, go through the loop. So here's my knot, and here are my beads. Now I'm going to do a magic trick to make it get closer. I'm going to pull the 2 ends.
Magic trick.
Right? So I'm going to pull the 2 threads in opposite directions. Ta-da! And it slides right there.
Beautiful.
So then you just need to finish off your threads with a half hitch knot. This is a thing that you'll be doing 1,000 times in this project. I won't show you all the knots. I'll just show you one. So all you have to do is sew into the next beads here. We're just trying to move away from the knot. And then to do a little half hitch, we're going to sew under the thread in between the beads, pulling through, and that's forming a loop. And before that loop closes, I sew through that loop, pull, 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 and then I get my little knot there. So I'll be finishing both ends of the thread with some half hitch knots. And then just gonna, whoops, I'm just gonna throw this apparently. So when your knots are tied, you're gonna trim the ends and it'll look like this step here, like my baking show, take it out of the oven. And then we're gonna do it again to do the outer layer. So I'm gonna cut a new piece of thread.
Can we see your bracelet?
Oh, yeah. This is another promotion we're doing right now on our website. I just made a bunch of these demi mixes. I have 11 different colors. And if you buy 2 or more bags of the demi mixes, you can get the pattern for the bracelet for free. Just throw the bracelet pattern in your cart along with the beads, and then it'll automatically discount the pattern. This is called the double demi drop. It's Kumihimo. And this is a pretty easy project. You use the Tex 400 cord, the heavier cord, or you can use 2 pieces of the regular Superlon 18. And you just drop the demis 2 at a time. You get this really cool texture.
It looks awesome. And that's a kit.
It's not a kit. This one is just, I didn't have all the stuff for making it a kit. So I got bags of beads and I have the pattern. So if you get 2 or more bags of the beads, then you get the pattern for free.
Awesome. What a good deal.
Yeah. So let me just cut another piece of thread here. So another thing you can do with these stars is I think they would also make really cute little earrings, right? Couldn't you see just putting a little loop at the top of that?
Yes, for sure.
Right?
Or a pendant.
Or a pendant, exactly. All right, so this time around, I'm sewing through the second hole of my gem duo, the one that hasn't been filled up yet. So I'm gonna sew through that. Leave myself a tail. I probably cut this thread way too short, but it's okay because it's just a demo. I'm going to pick up an 11, a gem duo. Again, make sure I'm going through that bottom hole and then pick up another 11 and go through the next bead over here.
Yes, Kathy, this video will be available to rewatch on the Softflex Company YouTube channel or Facebook page, whichever place you are watching now, you'll be able to find it again. And Rebecca, you launch like a new kit every week, right? Almost every week?
Almost every week. Now that we're, we're getting towards the end of the year, I don't have any more like new kits that we're doing every week because I wanted everything to be like in stock, ready to ship for people. And when we do our kit of the week, we make them to order, so they just take a little bit longer. So if you go to the website right now, everything there, it's grab and go. We're ready to put it in a box and ship it out to you.
And usually you do a video which day of the week to show your new kit when you're doing new kits?
So the best way to find out about the new kits is to subscribe to our email newsletter.
Okay.
And then the kits launch on Friday at designandadorn.com at 5 o'clock Arizona time, which is currently 4 o'clock in California. But is sometimes 5 o'clock in California.
Hopefully someday it'll always just be the same time. I keep hoping that they're going to legislate to stop the nonsense. But
that would be great. We have the same time all the time. We do not save our daylight. We have plenty of it to go around.
Right. We do too.
Yeah, so here's my star. I've gone all the way around, and you can see the difference between the two of these is when you tie the knot and you pull nice and tight, it poofs it up.
Oh.
So it's your thread tension there that gives you that like 3-dimensional look. That's really cool.
That's
So yeah,
awesome.
that's how you make them. There's obviously like more happening here that I can do in like a 10-minute demo, but that's like the basics. I wanted to show you this other thing. Now let me get it off my neck.
So one thing I wanted to note, and I'm sure there's a lot of fans here of Rebecca's who've had her kits before. She has very detailed, good directions with diagrams often. Isn't that right, Rebecca?
Yeah, absolutely. Diagrams, photos, like in these beading kits, I have really close-up photos of, you know, of every step. Right, just you go through step by step. This is what we just did here.
Yeah, so very thoughtful instructions. So if you're feeling a little nervous, like it might be a little bit too much for you, know that you not only will you get fantastic instructions, but you'll get great customer support from Rebecca too. So
yeah, absolutely.
Don't feel nervous about it.
Yeah, you can do it. Very Merry is the place to start if you've not done any before, but if you've done some bead stitching, you could do the Follow the Star or the Charming Christmas. If you've done a bunch of bead stitching, try the layer cake. It's a really gorgeous piece. There's just a lot of layers.
Pretty. It's really pretty. Okay, what did you want to show us?
I wanted to show you my necklace. This is the Holly Jolly. This is our Kumihimo Christmas necklace.
Move it toward you a little bit.
For 2022.
There we go.
You see that?
Whoa, look at that.
All right, you have like these holly berries and the leaves in here. And then this is all beaded Kumihimo. Yeah,
really very pretty. And I assume there's a kit available for that as well.
There is a kit for this also. Yeah.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else you wanted to share before we move on to Cassandra?
That's it. That's all of our Christmas stuff. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. And thanks for holding out till the very end. It's a little tricky to stick around for 2 hours. You guys are all troopers hanging in there. Thank you for being here. Thanks everyone out there. Cassandra's been out at a holiday party, so she's got a little bit of holiday glow going there. You need to unmute yourself, Cassandra. Then we can hear you. Here she goes. Oh, still muted. Keep going.
Hit it.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
okay.
Now I can hear you.
How was the fake? It was the fake unmute where it did it and then it went back.
Yeah, your finger went boop boop.
Yeah.
Hey,
sure
how was
nothing.
The holiday party tonight?
It was so lovely. It's actually the first time I've gotten to spend some dedicated time with my husband's coworkers because he changed real estate brokers this year. So it was nice to get to know some new faces. But I was like, you guys, I gotta go. And his friend agreed to give him a ride back to our house. So that was nice.
That was nice. I'm sorry we had to cut your night short, but I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, I'm so happy to see all of your faces. Hi, everybody.
I forgot about the holiday party, so I got nervous at the beginning and told Thomas
was like messaging me on Facebook. Are you having trouble logging on? I'm like, no, I am like in a restaurant right now.
Okay, well, that was my fault. I got nervous, Nancy. Okay, so let's go to your hand cam here and see what you got on your beading table.
Some blurred out stuff there. Let's see. There we go.
Want to go to you first. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, I'm back again.
Oh,
yeah, it was there. So look what I found in the depths of our bead stash here.
Ooh,
Extreme Trios.
Hard to come by.
You know, I've got that juicy depths of our warehouse bead stash going on. So,
right. Yeah. We haven't made the 24K since the pandemic started because the 24K gold went skyrocketing high. And if
I
we made it
know.
right now, no one could afford to buy it.
So this is like
yeah.
pre-pandemic goodies that I discovered this morning in our bead stash. So I've got these listed on the website right now as the set, as the trio.
Whoa, you can get
And there's
the gold.
obviously very limited quantities, but we have the medium. I think this one's the 0.019, yeah. And then we also have the heavy, and I meant to grab my earrings that I've made with the heavy, but there's two different options on the drop-down menu on the website. So I felt like it was important to let people know that that was available.
Yeah. Like I said, the 24 karat gold has been very hard to come by. So if you want to grab some, now is your chance. And that's beadstoliveby.com, right?
Yes, thank you. Trying to get my camera to cooperate. There we go. And that specifically led into, I finished my bracelet, Sarah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, you were just on with me on Wednesday. You guys can watch that video on replay on the Softlex YouTube channel. And we were using a Nutcracker design kit with Cassandra's seed bead subscription box.
And we've got some of our Jesse James beads in there. Thank you, other Sarah.
Yeah, her bead mix always makes our kit really fantastic. And then that little charm is from our friends at Vintage. And it's so super cute. I was super excited when I found that in the ballet slippers for the Nutcracker design kit. I was thrilled.
Yeah, I almost put all three of those charms together, but I didn't know if the weight of this bracelet would support the three charms.
It looks really good. It turned out lovely.
Thank you. Well, thanks for having us. So I did a couple of different little ornaments. This guy is obviously, so I don't know who else has the mini trees, but like my mom and my grandma always had a little mini tree with smaller ornaments, and then they had their full-size trees. So I just was inspired to do this like little angel ornament for the sake of the mini tree. And then if we have time, I mean, this guy was like a second in command here, but I did the start of one of those. I think I was talking about it on Wednesday, the kind of inspired by the beaded wreaths that you can get. So that guy is pretty easy, and I can at least show the base and like how I get started on that one. But the angel goes really fast.
I love how many ornaments can be turned into earrings and pendants too.
Oh, 100%.
One of the best parts about a little mini ornament is it can really be a lot of things.
That angel is like, I mean, you can see based on the size of my hand, maybe a little big for some people for an earring, but definitely like an adequate pendant size. And I mean, I wear huge earrings, so it's not too big for me.
It looks great. I can't wait to see how you make it.
Okay, super easy. So I've got a couple of feet of, I'm working with the 26 gauge craft wire, and I've got the rose gold here for the colors that I picked out for tonight, but I think there's a lot of different varieties. We have these drops. It's a faceted drop, and the daggers and the pearls I just listed today. I've got like at least 12 colors of these gorgeous check glass pearls. Again, kind of limited quantities because I really wasn't until a couple of days ago planning on doing anything big with them this year. But you know, you get enough in like a strand of any of those to make a couple of ornaments. The drops come two to a package, so you can do as many or a few of those as you want. And the bottom of that little angel, I've got a size 11 seed bead on the sample there, but you could easily do one of our 2mm fire polish, which is what I'm going to grab over here. And I also did want to point out, I haven't done anything with these stars yet, but this is an excellent ornament option. So that resin blank is under our metal frames, and we have that in the brass and a copper and a silver color.
And you guys, you could do the same thing with that blank that Abby did earlier today. She took some little tiny crystals and she used diamond glaze to make it almost look like a sparkly druzy.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would be an option with that blank as well. That would be really pretty.
So I've got a couple feet of that 26 gauge wire, and you just want a seed bead or a fire polish that's like 1 to 2 millimeters. You don't want anything super big. And then I'm going to fold that wire in half, and I'm bringing that small bead all the way down to the center. And 2 feet is probably really generous, but I always would rather give people too much than not enough. And then your angel, you don't want it to be top heavy, so string from the fat end of your drop first. I mean, your angel can be any shape it needs to be. All angels are beautiful.
Unique and beautiful, like a snowflake.
Yes, like a snowflake. And as you can see, the wire can like kind of pop out a little bit like that. So I'm going to grab my flat nose or chain nose pliers. And if you give the wire a little bit of a smush above the, well, that fire polish is popping around a little bit more than my, and you can even use just your fingers to kind of push it together, but ultimately you just need to kind of squish that wire down so that your drop can go all the way to your bead. And then I've got a couple of these daggers are what's called a laser etched finish. And I'm trying to get the darn camera to focus on my hand. There we go.
Looks
These
good.
ones are like a beautiful feather pattern on them. And I would just bring your wire out to the sides, because otherwise I was noticing as I was trying to make this angel bend to my will the other night, your little angel wings won't sit very well if you don't bring them out to the sides. So that's my first major tip. And somehow I've like intertwined my wire. There we go. So now we're gonna, each wire will get one dagger, like so. I know you guys all understand the struggle of like trying to do this kind of work underneath of a camera. So
Yes.
I appreciate the patience as I like fling.
Wire under a camera is.
Oh my gosh, wire under a camera. So once you get those daggers on and let them fall to the sides, oh my gosh, Sarah, it's cracking me up. I'm trying really hard not to be distracted by all the people that are getting on there to snag those trios.
Oh, good.
Those notifications, I should turn them off on my phone while
Everyone's
I'm doing
like,
videos.
gold Softlex, what?
Yep, they're after it. I should have known what I was getting into.
It is a hot commodity, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, for sure. When I found it, I was like, oh, this is gold, literally and figuratively. I'm just glad Nile and Sam aren't here to harass me. I feel like you guys are being very kind, and those two would be like all over my hot mess express tonight.
I'm watching silently back here and just enjoying your banter, Cassandra, so very much. We haven't met yet, but I like you.
Oh, Sarah James, I think we're going to be fast friends.
I feel that way also. Let's hang out.
For sure.
You know how there's like people out in the interwebs where you are just like, I feel their energy. I think that's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Yes.
So the last thing we are going to do is, well, the last bead we're going to add rather is our 8mm pearl. Oh yes, Terry, I agree with you. We have such beautiful daggers on the website and in our store, and they're just like an odd sort of bead to use. You really have to kind of work to like give them purpose. So, oh my goodness, I knew I was going to like these colors. I'm all about the rose gold and like warm tones. So
pretty.
I need to grab, without knocking over any lights or cameras, round nose pliers. And you're just going to, because I'm working with the 26 gauge, normally I would not bend with both of the wires, but I really think that you want a little extra security from this. So I'm going to bring that wire over with a right angle, just a tiny bend, and then I'm going to use the large side of my round nose pliers to make a big loop for, this is so you can hang the ornament with whatever type of material you want to, you know, if you've got your little green Christmas tree hooks and all that kind of stuff, or a ribbon. That's the other reason to make a bigger loop, because like Sarah James' example with the ribbon, I think would be really attractive with one of these little angels too. And then I totally also agree with the messy wrap. You just want to give that little angel a nice crown, or halo. Like little halo. Yeah. And because this is like our world and we can do whatever we want, we're just going to bring it around the side of the pearl so that it's not like interfering with what you would want the face to be, but you also don't need to like separate and, you know, cut, start and stop your wire. So I'm going to bring it down. I just think the idea of reinforcing this because you're doing something with such a thin wire is a good idea. And then across the front of your little wings and then around the base of the wing area or where your body hits from that drop.
That looks amazing.
Just, you know, something quick and easy.
Such a great Friday night.
I'm having so much fun, Sarah. Thank you for organizing this.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to see all of you. I'm happy to spend a little holiday time with my friends, both here on the video and out there watching. It's really been a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, this has been fantastic. I was sitting there like drooling over the ornaments ahead of me when I finally got to log in. So much fun.
Yeah, I love it. That's really great. So you can find all the parts and pieces for this angel at beadstoliveby.com, as well as that great ornament above it, the star, and then show us a little bit about the wreath.
Yeah, so the wreath, I used a base of the 18 gauge craft wire, and I will just like give a quick demo on that. Truth be told, I have a feeling some of you will appreciate this. The size of this wreath is about midway down the neck of a wine bottle. So I think there's a theme tonight for my crafting. Oh, but again, just the 18 gauge craft wire, and I am going to do a smaller version for the sake of like making the demo quicker. So even taking, gosh, your like your spool from your wire, once you pull it off of the spool and wrapping. So I took probably about 18 inches or so of my 18 gauge, and I'm just going to wrap it back around the spool. And you guys know it'll spring back out a little bit, and that's totally fine. This technique is actually, not this part, but the idea behind this ornament was the base of it birthed from my friend, our probably mutual friend, Heather Powers. And she's done some really cute little like wreaths, wire wreaths. So just creating like a couple of wraps with that 18 gauge wire gives you enough substance to take the ends and then go through. Thanks, Becky. Reading the comments there. And you just want to take
who's here.
That and wrap it through. Oh my gosh, hey, Heather.
It's like she just knew. She was like,
She and I are
talking about
kindred spirits.
Could
So
not agree more.
if you wrap that the ends of your wire through, and I used this technique to bring them to the center, and you just want to leave yourself one that's long enough, because that is what you're going to create that loop with. So Sarah, I'm sorry that feed is probably going to kick us back to like the group photo. Everybody be ready. You're about to be exposed. It's my iPad that disconnects, I swear. Hi.
Oh, hello. Here we go.
That's why I exited out of that earlier while everybody else was demoing. I didn't want to continue to be part of the problem.
It's just keeps us on our toes.
Yeah, right. So just a little, aw. Heather's making some gorgeous beads somewhere, I'm sure.
Always. Move up just a little bit so we can see you. There you go.
Just like a little basic wire wrapped loop, but I'm doing it again on the bigger side of my pliers so that you can really get whatever kind of stringing material you want through that area. And you can do like, you just want a couple of wraps to secure that, because you don't want that loop to like come undone while you're hanging it on your tree, while your cat is batting at it, right?
That's pretty almost just like that.
Yeah,
really,
so like there's
pretty.
really a lot of layers to this. You can leave something, fairly simplistic like that. You could string between it. You could make it a different shape. And then all I did was take the 26 gauge wire with some of our seed beads from the curated collections and just coil it around. And I didn't leave, or I didn't cover the coils all the way around the wrap. I have like a front and a back. So you can like anchor your wire on the back side, and then you can really create like, more of a festive adornment on the front side of the wreath.
Before you got here, I think Abby showed us this ornament that was a vintage bangle. And she said she didn't have very many of them left. So if her kit ends up selling out, here's another idea for how you can make that round circle and then hang the tiara cast pendant in the center to replicate that same kind of look, but with your own sort of organically made circle. Very
absolutely cool. Yeah. So that's the base of that. And then after doing the coil, the most tedious part is trying to make the little seed bead sticks, which is why you can see after like a third of the ornament I gave up. But I'm going to finish that one. And I encourage anyone that is comfortable with wire. It's not hard. It's just tedious.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm coming to everybody, so be prepared.
You ready?
This has been so much fun. I have an ornament to show you. I'm the last one to go. I cannot believe everyone has hung in there for so long. What a fantastic Friday night this has been, though. Thank you so much, Cassandra, for that beautiful demonstration. And one more time, what is your website?
Beads to live by, TO, not the number 2.com. All one word.
And you can go get the Softflex Extreme Trio while
maybe not for long.
Yeah. Totally. Okay, I'm gonna go to my own screen up here. Let's see if it'll switch over. There we go. Okay, so I love making ornaments every Christmas. I almost always make Christmas trees of some kind. I've made them in lots of different shapes over the years. Sometimes I'll make them without the stump and just like a nice, beautiful triangle shape. I've made them in a squiggly shape. This is a very popular project on Pinterest that gets shared and reshared year after year and can be made in lots of different colors. You can add beads, pretty resistant to coming out of its shape because I work hard in them. Also, a tree like this that has little curls on the inside so that you can hang your little Christmas garlands with seed beads between them. I love making Christmas trees. So this year I am doing this one here. I think it's super cute. I used the beads from something called our Christmas bundle. You can find it on the Softflex Company website. It's 4 strands of check glass beads, a 10-foot spool of our Softflex in our garnet color. And then there are a couple really cute little tiara cast charms in there. But I decided that I would use the beads from there because I really liked the green and the red as part of my Christmas tree. So let's get moving. I'm going to make this thing. Okay, so Softflex craft wire comes in lots of different colors. Green, red, gold, silver, copper, all sorts of different colors that you can choose from. It comes in gauges, 16 gauge up to 28 gauge. I'm using 18 gauge today. So I'm going to grab some of that out in the 18 gauge size, and then I'll use a thinner gauge to do my decorating after this. Now we're in our last demonstration of the night, so make sure you have liked and shared and commented on the video. If you're in the Softflex VIB group, you probably can't share it from there. So you may have to close out and go to the YouTube channel or go to the Softflex Company page to share it. Thomas will be picking one winner at random and we'll name them at the end. And I'm going to put together a little Christmas package for you, probably containing some of these adorable charms that we have in from our friends up north at John Bead, the Sweet and Petites, which I'll show you here in a minute too. Probably some of the Christmas bundle. I'm not sure. I'll put together something pretty fantastic though, so be prepared. Let me flip my light down just a little bit so I can get a little more light. And I'm taking my multi-sized pliers. I'm going to make the smallest size, but I want to be careful not to close it up too much because it's almost exactly the same size as this Wig Jig Olympus Light peg. And you want to make sure you can fit it over that peg really easily. So then I can stick this right onto my jig. You can find these jigs on our website too in 2 different sizes. This is the Olympus Light, which has bigger peg holes, but we also have the Delphi, which has smaller peg holes. So your choice. And I'm just going to guide the wire around the pegs to make the shape. You can move these pegs into any shape that you like. So last week I was making a bell. And then here I am this week making a Christmas tree. And, next week I'll probably be making a heart because we'll be moving on to Christmas. So you can move the pegs into lots of different shapes. And it's a lot of fun for making holiday items. I'm just going to clip this off a little ways off of the board. And then just make sure I have my shape, really good. I feel good about where everything's at and it's ready to go before I pop it off of here. So you can see that little Christmas tree there. Oh, thank you, Lois. I see your beautiful comment. We try to be very generous with our gifts. Thank you for noticing, and thank you for the nice comment about this being cute too. Okay, so there we go. We've got our Christmas tree shape. So now I'm going to just take my chain nose plier and I'm going to make my first little 90-degree angle to loop around this with that chain nose plier so that it's just below the loop. And then what I like to do is sort of hold that crisscross together and just use my fingers to loop this around to make my top of my tree here. And I do it a little messy. I don't get too concerned about it looking perfect. and just tuck that in. And then if you want to close this up just ever so slightly too, you can do that. And then we've got our tree form and we can start decorating it. So now we're going to take the 26 gauge soft flux craft wire. And again, you can be using any color you choose. I actually haven't done a tree in green in a while, strangely enough. So I decided I should grab some green out and give it a try. I often use like the gold, the silver, or the copper, and then I usually use different colors of beads. And I'll show you some options. So I just smoothed out my wire using nylon jaw pliers. That'll straighten everything out. And then I'm going to come in from the top, and I don't need quite too much wire. So just a little bit overlapping. And then I'm just going to pull it around a couple of times and then bring it up to my main wrap here and wrap it around the top just to secure it down. And you can cut it off if you don't want to wrap it too many times. You don't need to. Let's see. Let me know who wins the giveaway and I'll send them a PDF for the beginner-friendly Very Merry Ornament. Oh, Rebecca just sweetened the deal, I see. So you're going to get not only a prize from us, you're going to get a prize from Miss Rebecca too. Okay, let me cut some of these strands open. I want to use this deep dark green, and I'm going to use some of the red again because I think those are so pretty. So the very top one, I'm just going to do a single green bead, string it on. And Thomas, feel free to highlight any comments that you think are interesting and that you want me to see, okay? So, because it's hard for me to do both. So I've just settled that in place in the top, tip top of that tree. And then I'm going to wrap. I usually wrap like 3 times. Bring it back behind it. And now I'm going to pick up a few more beads. This time I'm going to pick up a green and then a red and then a green. So I use this jig every single Christmas. It is almost, I could say, a Christmas tradition for me at this point. I don't know what I would do without it at Christmas time. It's a lot of fun to play around with, to make lots of different shapes. So I highly suggest it, and you can find it on the Softflux Company website. Also, I should let you know, we added a ton of new closeouts this week. So lots of new beads are on closeout where we just have a couple of them left, and we're trying to move through the inventory. We also, anything that was on closeout already, I had them knock it down in its discount price. So if you haven't been to our closeout section in a while, you're going to want to check that out. We've already sold out of several things, and you won't see it as you're kind of going through it, that there's quite a few things that have sold out, but there's still lots of good things left there. And we're doing an extra 10% off this week only. So you're going to want to go check it out sooner rather than later. I think it's through next Tuesday. No coupon necessary. The extra 10% will show up in your shopping cart once you place an item from closeout into the shopping cart. Okay, let's see. I think I need to get a few of these reds out of here. So let me open that up. And we're going to do a green and a red. I'm really surprised and like almost shocked that my children have not come in here yet. My strong talking to before this video must have really sunk in, because normally somebody would have showed up by now. Just the other day, someone noticed one of them was just peeking in the door behind me. Talking, her little face peeking through the door. So it's unusual for them to leave me alone for this length of time on a Friday night, to say the least. But really lovely for me. I'm getting like a night off here, which is great. Tom, who said Santa is watching? That must be it. It's our elf has left an impression on them. They're behaving themselves, but it's very unusual. And that's it. Look at how easy. The one thing I forgot to do is work hard knit, but in this case, because the beads are there, I don't even think it really needs it. But if you wanted to work hard knit, you can get a wire whacker and you would do the whole surface before you add the beads. And sometimes I'll just make my own little hook for it. So I just grab out some wire. If you want a matching hook, take that same little plier that I used before to make a circle, and then come in with the biggest side facing away from the circle. It's kind of hard to see in this light, but that will give you almost what looks like a big ear wire. And then what I've been doing this year that I've just been liking is just taking my chain nose and making a little loop-de-loop on the end, and then making a spiral, and kind of a loose spiral, just to give it a little bit of a something and a little extra weight on that side, like that. And then I can attach. And I've got a sweet little Christmas ornament. So like I said, it's fun to make it in lots of different colors and different shapes. I was loving Sarah James' just hang a strand of beads on the tree idea. You can also take some craft wire and make those beads into a beautiful icicle ornament. This is one of our most popular ornaments that we've ever made. This video gets played every year a ton. And I just did it as an Instagram reel, so you can find it on our Instagram page as well.
Sarah, what gauge wire do you use on your icicles? I've been meaning to ask you.
I usually use 20 gauge.
Okay.
If you need to go thinner, you can reinforce it by going back up and around. So if the beads have a small hole and it's tricky to use that thicker wire, you could definitely do a thinner wire. You just always want to make sure you reinforce it enough that it's going to feel like a solid icicle. Especially if you have little kids like I do that are pulling ornaments off the tree all the time. Here's a really cute wraparound star. So it's just a star shape made on the wig jig, and then I wrapped a thinner gauge of wire around it. You could add some little crystals if you want to add sparkle, and you can make that in all sorts of fun colors. I really like it in the gold. It's really pretty in the gold. And then I made this last week. We had a really great gift guide session with the Great Bead Extravaganza. You can find it on the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook page. And I made this sweet little bell for the first time. I'm smitten with that. And of course, who can not love a little snowman with a scarf, right? So cute. So lots of ideas. We have lots of holiday items on the Softflix Company website. I hope you'll go check it out at softflixcompany.com. I hope you guys have had a really great night tonight. I hope you're feeling inspired. I hope you're feeling like you can go make all sorts of really fun ornaments for gifts or package toppers or what have you. And I think we're ready for our big winner, right? So Thomas, whenever you're ready, let us know. I see Audrey says she never thought of using her wig jig for an ornament. I can't believe that. I use it for ornaments all the time. I'm so glad you can use it in that way now. And let's see. Randomly selected winner. He was very careful to let you know if I can catch it because everything's flying so fast here.
Woo, yay.
Did we get it? I think I got it. When you stream for so long, everything gets like wonkier and wonkier,
Which is for 2.5 hours. We've been at it, guys.
Which
tonight.
is good for us to know because Sarah James and I are cooking up something in the new
Yes,
year.
Get ready. Get your
That
stamina
requires
ready,
a
everybody.
long length of streaming.
Interesting.
Stay tuned.
Okay, our randomly selected winner is Lori. Thank you, Lori, for being here. Congratulations. Hopefully you're here to see what to do. If not, we'll try to, if you could try to private message her to Thomas, that would be helpful. Email us at info@softluxcompany.com and we will make sure we get your prize out to you next week. Thank you, everybody, for being here and for sticking through the whole time. You five. I see Cassandra down there too. And just for jumping on board last minute with my wacky ideas. Like, okay, it's 2 weeks away. Let's have an ornament party. And
Sarah, Sarah's so good at this. You're great at pulling people together. And it was really wonderful to come here and hang out with everyone that loves Softlex and Softlex companies. You guys are just such a joy, Sarah. And this has been great fun tonight to sit around and just create with you all.
Likewise, I feel the same way. It is an honor anytime I get to be on the screen with any one of you. So thank you for being here. Make sure you check out all of these lovely small businesses. Go like their pages on Facebook. Follow and subscribe to them on YouTube and look for them on Instagram as well. And please shop small this holiday season. A lot of small businesses are struggling right now. And it's a really great time to support your favorite small bead company because I know we can all use it. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night and happy holidays, whatever holiday it is that you celebrate. We're sending you love and light this holiday season. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.